Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both Mikes.
Hey everybody, welcome to Both Mikes.
Hey folks, Both Mikes is a show about nothing and everything. That over there is Mike Sofka.
And that over there is Mike Taylor. And together, we are Both Mikes.
Hey guys, welcome to show number 133. We're Both Mikes. We can be heard anywhere podcasts can be heard. So if you hear us here, you'll hear us everywhere. Check us out. Check out our website, bothmikes.com. And we got a merch page. Go check out our Get Off My Lawn and Both Mikes merchandise. Check it out.
Yes.
So what's happening, sir? How's things?
Nothing, just busy with a bunch of small minutia type, dealing with people and companies. You know what I mean? I mean, it's tedious. Right. It's repetitive.
I hear you.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
How about you? How was your week?
Good. Kind of dealing with that whole. I told you about we're gonna try to cut the cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a TV that we bought right after our wedding. Right. It has all the buzzers and whistles and Hulus and whatnots. Right. And okay, let's do this. Let's do the Hulu. Yeah. Let's do the Disney Plus military discount. We get a good deal on that. And so I start looking into it. And our TV, our Sharp Aquos TV is like over 10 years old. So I had to go buy a Fire Stick for it. Like, all right, cool. So I bought a Fire Stick for that one. And then I go into the bedroom and I try to get that TV going because it's got that, It's 5 years old, and it's out of date.
Wow.
So the Hulu that's on that TV, out of date. $1,000 for a TV. Yeah, too bad. So
can't you just get? But it still has the internet capability. Can't you just go to the place where you get the apps and get the updated app for Hulu?
Nope. I try clicking into it, and it says, call this number for customer assistance. And you're like, yeah, your TV's out of date. Really?
You know what you need to do? You need to get the
another Fire Stick.
But you need to get a hey, how you doing Fire Stick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for $20 a month, you get all the channels, dude.
Yeah. A friend of mine has those particular Fire Sticks. I was like, you know what? Let's do it on the up and up for a change.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Yeah. So
just be careful because it's easy to make online purchases accidentally. I've never done it, but I've heard of that.
Yeah, I that's what I'm afraid of too. You click here, agree, okay, click, let's get next page, like cha-ching.
Next thing you know, there's 140 Amazon boxes showing up at your house for some sort of toy the kids wanted.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing with Amazon. They're like, like to be one particular song I want to hear from Keel, right?
Yeah.
Keel, play Speed Demon. And you're like, Speed Demon is not available, but for $4.99 a month with a 30-day free trial, would you like to start your free trial? No.
Yeah, dude. I read somewhere when doing research for tonight's show here, I came across stuff talking about how I think it's Mercedes or someone with the vibrating and heating seats. Okay. They're going to start, each car is going to come equipped with it. It's going to come with it. But if you want them to work, you got to buy a subscription monthly.
What?
Yeah, dude, that's going to be the new wave in the car industry. Watch, that's coming. Everything else it's the same thing. You're thinking, oh, good, it's a la carte because I don't need to get the stuff I don't want or don't watch or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. They figured that out. They figured everybody out there cutting cords and stuff. So they're like, okay, it's cheaper for us to give it to them and then shut it off than it is to put it on, put it off, or not put it on some cars and all that.
Right.
Screw it. They all get it.
Right.
We're just going to make everybody pay for it a different way.
Right. Yeah. Will they do that with like fog lights? We'll put covers on the fog lights, but you pull the covers off the fog lights and you order the subscription. You pay for them. You all right there?
Yeah. Hey, just making sure I'm good.
Yeah, I know like my old Mustangs. Like you would go through that and you would see like extra wiring. Like, look, it's wired for the air conditioner. Oh, look, it is wired for headlights or fog lights. Just the jacket is there. You just have to buy the fog lights and plug them in. Yeah,
crazy, dude. It's going to be like that on everything. Watch, dude. And then you know what they're going to do? I told you can't use that function. Like, let's say you buy the subscription and for some reason your car payment doesn't go, your payment for that service doesn't come through. You're not using that service. I mean, they're not going to let you use it unless you pay for it. So here's my question. If they're able to do that, you know how we've talked about this ESG thing where they're going to you're not allowed to buy food this month, Michael. We see you were a naughty boy on Facebook. And they cut your expenditures off on the new global currency that we're going to have, the electronic currency, just like they did with the truckers in Canada. They shut them off. They totally shut them off. They couldn't do anything because they had control of the banking. Well, the ESG thing is going to be the same way. So it just shows you it's happening in smaller incremental pieces. Guys like me and you are like, well, fuck you. I don't own a Mercedes. Doesn't bother me.
Right.
Well, it's going to bother us because it's coming. That little thing that Geico and Progressive and all these people have been coaching us to use to plug into your dash there so you can get cheaper insurance and so forth, and they can monitor your driving.
Yep.
Keyword there, monitor.
Yeah.
The government's going to force you to put a thing in your car. It's happening. It's already happening, folks. They're going to force you to put a thing in your car, and you're going to get taxed by mile. Because there's not enough taxes. There's not enough. We're not paying enough taxes. Oh. So we got to do that. So yeah, this is all real, folks. I've been talking about it for years, and if you know me, you know I've been talking about it for years. But this just validates that that's where this is going. If they can shut off your heated seats in your car,
I want to know if they can repossess your car. If it's
sure they can.
Autonomous vehicles. Now here's the thing.
Sure they can.
Will they do this with a sunroof? Install a sunroof in your car, but if you want to use the sunroof, you have to pay a fee.
I'm telling you, dude, it's coming. It's happening, dude. It's disgusting. It really is. You want to know what's really, really funny? Because I've talked about this before. We talked about it on the show. Disney could end, this is according to thestreet.com, Disney could end a popular Universal theme park. Well, Disney and Comcast Universal have a complicated relationship.
Can I take
Universal
a guess?
Studios has attractions featuring some of Disney's most popular characters, right? Disney has acquired the Marvel family, and Universal Studios, what's the name of the one? Not Universal, the
Islands of Adventure, IOA.
Yeah. Islands of Adventure has a lot of the Marvel stuff in it. Well, they own that, but I mean, Disney gets paid. They get paid likeness rights or whatever residual they get, but they don't have the attraction there.
Licensing. That Spider-Man ride is pretty cool.
Yeah. Disney gets paid for the intellectual property, but the theme park company would likely prefer to have the right to bring those characters to Disney World.
Right.
You think about it, Disney also bought up Fox. They didn't buy Fox News. They just bought Fox because they wanted the stuff that came with it. The Simpsons ride.
Right.
You see what they're doing? They're buying all the shit. They're going to they're trying to put somebody else out of business. How do you feel about that, Mike? You think that's dirty pool? Or you think that's a good way to go?
I've got a bad taste in my mouth from Disney. Some reasons. And the intellectual property and the public domain, I have a big issue with Disney. They were able to take Cinderella and Pocahontas and Pinocchio and Peter Pan and even Beauty and the Beast, take all these fairy tales from way back. I can't even remember the Brothers Grimm. Some of those they take the Three Little Pigs. They take all these things that were public domain and made a fortune off of them. But when it came time for Mickey Mouse to become public domain, they opened up the wallet and they opened up the checkbook and they started stroking checks, and
rules for thee, but not for me. That's what we see in America's society today. That's what happens. The rich don't do the same thing we do.
Corporate America and stockholders, all that. Yeah, don't get me going. How much money do you need to make? Enough to be filthy rich? Okay, good. But you don't need to make more than that. Share the pie. Share the pie, guys. But no, we got to give it to stockholders. Yeah. And treat your employees like shit because of it. So don't get me started. But yeah, I would have guessed that it would have been Marvel because I know that Disney bought Marvel probably close to 10 years ago, within the past decade. So what are they going to put there in place of it? You know, are they going to?
Well, they're not. It's not an action, and it's happening now. It's
right.
There's no deals in the way or attack that's imminent or anything.
Yeah.
But there is discussion, and we've talked about it before. There was discussion, so it's interesting to me that this is a real thing. You know, because I have often wondered, you know, how's that going to go? I mean. Here's a quote from the thing. Rumors indicate the duration is a 20-year licensing agreement, putting the end year at 2028. However, unlike the Marvel contract, there is no in perpetuity clause or region-based restrictions. I guess because there's an agreement between Fox and Universal to use The Simpsons and they have an end date.
Right.
We don't know exactly when that is, but they're thinking that might happen the same. So. Maybe there's some credibility to your question now, Mike. Well, what are they going to put in between? What else is there that they can help draw people in? You yourself just said, "Oh yeah, the Spider-Man ride's good." Yeah, I like it too. It's good. I mean, what are they going to do?
We paint the Hulk coaster yellow and make it a Minion ride.
You know? There you go. Well, how about this? How about they fill it with DC?
Right.
That's the other thing, isn't it? Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Aren't they kind of?
If you're familiar with Six Flags, Six Flags has a big contract with DC. You know, Batman, Superman, the Joker.
So Universal goes and buys Six Flags then. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's the kind of money we're talking about. It's fuck you money, right?
Right. Yeah. It probably costs the same.
Yeah. And then they get all the shit in their park. Yeah. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, there's a Six Flags park in New Orleans that never opened up. I did not know that. It never opened up after Katrina. So it's like it's abandoned.
So they were building it, and then Katrina hit, and then it got wiped out, or what?
It was operating. It was an operating theme park.
Really?
Yeah, Katrina came through, took a crap, and they just never opened it up, and it's all overgrown now. You can find stuff on YouTube about it. It's actually kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, dude. So, you know, stuff like this always gets me going here, and that's a Central Florida type thing for us, Universal and Disney.
Right.
Well,
right.
Orlando, the biggest city in Central Florida.
Yeah.
According to Wesh.com, so this must be true, Orlando named the most vacant major U.S. city, study says.
Vacant?
Data company Clever Real Estate has ranked Orlando as the #1 city in the country with the highest vacancy rent. We've talked about this in the past. Yeah. These big corporate conglomerates have bought up all these places, and as soon as a place gets on the listing, they'll offer asking or plus over the asking to make sure no one else bids.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they control the market. Why do you control the market? You physically own the market. Then you set all the rent rates.
Right.
The rent can be whatever you say you want it to be. I know people personally in my life that the rent's gone up 40 to 60% in the last year.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. There's a lot more homeless people. There's people moving out of the area because of that. And that's why these places are staying vacant. They say the Orlando vacancy rate exceeds 15%, the only major city to do so. 161,000 housing units sit vacant, and that's in Orlando. That's not talking about everywhere that we all say is Orlando. That's not really Orlando. So the crisis is much worse than this.
Really, yeah. I could see it with people who have second homes in Orlando. You know, when you got to tighten the belt, you know, what's the first thing to go? Well, not the house you live in. No, it's the house that that we bought down the street from Mickey Mouse. So,
well, yeah. It's not exclusive to Orlando in Florida. 3 other Florida cities also ranked among the top 10. Miami was second on the list.
Wow.
Tampa was third, and Jacksonville 7th.
Wow. You can't put a house on the market in our subdivision for more than a week without it being sold.
Well, what's happened is between the rates jumping up and being outbid by these conglomerates who are owned by BlackRock and so forth. We're going to talk about this probably later on in the show here. But Bezos Amazon owns a housing company that's going in and buying up shit. There's big money companies with big funds behind them. And you think, well, they got a couple million. Bullshit. They got trillions. I'm talking people like BlackRock and people like that.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah. 60% of the market over that is handled by these major people. And we wonder why people are homeless. We wonder why there's high vacancy everywhere. They're setting the parameters wherever they want. It's like a buy here, pay here in the car business. Okay. And I'm sure you have a relatable thing with the mortgage and the real estate. Yes. If they're the same company, they don't keep each other in check and balanced. If they can, they can charge whatever they want. 500% of the value of the car, they could charge you that, and 30% interest, they could charge you. They could do all that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it's like that in the rental place, right? I find very few situations where the mortgage holder is the landholder or household owner as well. But have you come across that or no?
Say that again.
Well, you don't have a situation where the guy that owns the property or is buying the house, okay?
Right.
He's not the guy that's also the guy financing. He's buying the house from is also not the bank.
Yeah, there's situations like that all the time.
Really?
The first house I bought in San Antonio, what was I doing? I don't even know what I was doing for a job, but in a traditional mortgage, I would not have qualified. So we put like 10% down on a house that was $68,000, and we bought it from a guy, and he held the note. I went to his office and I paid him like $634 a month, and that was the mortgage, the taxes, and the insurance. They took care of it.
So it was kind of like a second mortgage, but wasn't really on the books.
No, it was a first mortgage. There was no recorded mortgage on it. The guy who sold it to me held the mortgage.
I see.
And then we turned around and refinanced it out of it and cashed out some money. And then we had the house that you were at, and we kept the other house. We didn't need to, but it wasn't on our credit, so it wasn't against us. So when we bought the new house, we had no issues. And then we went ahead and sold that house, and you transfer the deed and the title, and you make a mortgage up with a lawyer, and we charged them 10% interest back. God, it was 2015. So 2015, they put 10% down. The house was worth $115,000. I bought it for $68,000. We refinanced for $90,000, and we owed $83,000 on it when we sold it. It was worth $115,000. We sold it for $125,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and 10%
Plus you got
interest.
Some interest money there too, right?
10% interest, yeah. And we held that for 4 or 5 years, and then we turned around and took that note and sold it to a company that buys notes. And we had our original mortgage for $83,000. We paid that off, and we kept the difference. We did a wraparound mortgage.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Well, you know what? That's going to lead us right into my second favorite part of the show, the alien update.
Buzz, look, an alien! Where?
Warning! Aliens approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people.
That's a pretty good profile. He's a little bit of an alien, too, but I think he's an alien. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, so usually, and let me clarify what the alien update is if you're new to the show, or, you're like most of our listeners and you're so high you don't know what the fuck is going on. CBS News, well, first off, this is Elon Musk. This is Jeff Bezos. This is Richard Branson, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah. All these people that have advanced us socially, culturally, and their own economics. They are the richest people in the world. They control a lot of things, and they're leading us into the future. So don't tell me these people aren't aliens themselves, or don't have or haven't had alien contact, or, given alien technology or whatever. Sometimes it turns into the Elon Musk show, but not so much today. There's a company, this is according to CBSNews.com, okay? An artist collective in Brooklyn is selling popsicles shaped like billionaires, including Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, with the tagline, "Eat the rich."
Nice.
The $10 price tag on the frozen treats has some people pointing out the irony of criticizing the world's wealthiest people while engaging in peak capitalism.
Right? $10 popsicle for frozen water?
I like this guy. I like this. Why not do this? The ice cream pops are offered by the Artist Collective, MSCHF, and sold via food trucks in New York City and Santa Monica, California. These popsicles are proving popular. They sold out Tuesday in New York, Bloomberg reported.
Wow. All right, in Santa Monica, California, and New York City. Right next to each other.
Yeah, I guess because they can't be everywhere yet, you know?
Okay. No place in between. Just those two places.
No, but I'm seeing here they do have Bill Gates available. He's on our list. They do have Zuckerberg. He's on our list.
Wow.
There's Elon. He's on our list. So it ain't just us, folks. It's not just me pointing this stuff out. Everybody's on to these people. I mean, that's why he's doing this. That's going to sell. I just don't know if I want to put some dude that I'm not sure if he's an alien or not. I'm not sure if I want to put his face in my mouth.
Or his whole head.
Yeah. I guess you could leave it out and sit on it, and then he could be kissing your ass, I guess.
Nice. So, Braanson story real quick. You've been on a cruise before, right?
Yes.
And you know when you get on the ship, they take your picture and there's a background.
Yes.
Guess who was the person available to take pictures with when you boarded the ship?
I guess Richard Branson.
Yeah. Dressed as a merman.
Nice.
He had a merman outfit on, and it was like a big display of shells and rocks and stuff, and he had mermaids with him, and you can get your picture taken with Richard Braanson the Merman on his birthday cruise.
Was your sister able to do that?
No, she went on the cruise before the birthday cruise. She didn't want to be dealing with the mayhem of the birthday cruise. Now, my travel agent Tony, he was on that cruise, and I think they got back today or yesterday, and little by little he's put pictures up on the Facebook. So I thought it was
I saw a lot of pictures your sister put up with Branson in the pool, hanging out with the commoners.
Yep, yeah, not bad, huh?
No,
he might be
being on the list. Then is he an alien? He seems to be approachable,
right?
I don't see Zuckerberg out there in the pool with people. I don't see Musk. I don't see any of these people doing that.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe he's different. Maybe he's not really an alien. Maybe we need to reevaluate that.
Right. Well, there's got to be some British alien. Or no, he's from Australia, right? Is it Australia or British?
Somewhere not here. According to Yahoo Finance,
yes,
Bezos-backed Arrived Homes released its largest batch of single-family rental offerings to date. The real estate investment firm Arrived Homes, backed by Amazon.com Inc., by the founder, Jeff Bezos, has launched its largest batch of new offerings with a total of 14 new single-family rental properties. 7 of the 14 rental homes hit the platform last week, while the remaining 7 being available as of today. So far, 5 of the properties have been fully funded with a total value of about $1.4 million. This is what we were talking about before, just a few minutes ago, about these big companies coming in.
Yep.
This isn't something we're making up. It's not some conspiracy thing. I'm showing you and telling you where these things are happening. It's happening. Because you're like, it doesn't affect me. It's going to affect you, because there's going to be a day when the pricing or the market around what you're trying to do has been affected by this. Amazon or BlackRock or Progressive or Progress or whoever's doing this. So yes, It affects everybody. Now, legally, I don't think they can tell somebody in this country, hey, you're not allowed to buy these properties. You have enough. You know, they're not allowed to do that, and that's why these companies are doing this. But
right, I suppose it's not like a monopoly loophole or some kind of regulation. But
I'm sure there is, or I'm sure there can be. But
yep.
Making it rain in DC, bitches. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's who we have up there representing our country.
Yep.
Crazy, dude.
Termelin is.
The rental property investment platform allows individual and purchasers to purchase shares of single-family properties with investments ranging from 100 to 10,000 per property. So he's getting paid both ways.
Right.
He's getting paid by the people that are living in these homes, and he's selling that security to customers for a small portion of the buddy.
Yeah. And then the next thing is he'll teach others to do it and make a fortune there too.
Fucking crazy, dude. The newest batch of properties has a total value of approximately $7 million. The properties are located in several high-growth markets, including Atlanta, Nashville, upstate South Carolina, and Northwest Arkansas. Yeah.
Arkansas. People go there purposely?
Arrive Films caught the attention of several high-profile investors last year. Jeff Bezos invested in the company's $37 million seed round last June through Bezos Expeditions and recently made a second-round investment during the company's $25 million Series A round. Dude, I'm surprised they didn't give him some of that, because just the fact that he's doing it is going to make other people want in.
Right.
It's going to make it more valuable. Buddy, it's crazy. Here's a guy that is Jeff Bezos' landlord. He figured out how to become Jeff Bezos' landlord.
Okay. Is this the same guy that follows his plane around?
This is according to the Motley Fool, and that's fool.co.uk. How I became Jeff Bezos' landlord. I'm reading that right. Landlord, using my stocks and shares, ISA. Using my stocks and shares, ISA, whatever that is. I invested in UK's biggest warehousing provider, which rents out 78 football pitches, that's a soccer field, worth of space to Amazon. Founder Jeff Bezos may be the world's third richest person, but he still has to pay rent. And using my stocks and shares, ISA, I have bought a stake in his landlord. Now, of course, Bezos does not pay the rent to put a roof over his head. He pays rent to house billions of pounds worth of items ready to be trucked to doors around the UK at the click of a mouse. You can enter Triax, it's Tritax Big Box. That's on the London Exchange. This real estate investment trust, REIT, leases out storage space to Amazon, meaning shareholders collect a portion of the rent paid by Bezos and company. Fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Everybody cashing in.
I'm in the wrong line. I need to get in one of these lines where this cash is being handed out. It's like you're on the highway and there's a breakdown up ahead and there's traffic and it's stop and go, stop and go. And if you change lanes at that point, the lane you changed from is going to be the lane going.
Exactly.
And you're like, well,
because they all take turns.
Move back, and then the other lane's going.
Yeah, like the opening scene to Office Space.
Oh, yeah.
The guy with the walkers walking faster than all of them. Slow and steady.
He's all listening to that thug music, and when he gets in the black neighborhood, he turns it down and rolls up the windows and locks the door.
Yeah.
But I would like to be Jeff Bezos' landlord. Then I just start jacking up the rent like he does.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to buy up all the warehouses around where you're warehousing this stuff. So when you go to buy more warehousing, you got to pay more.
You're going to pay me. Well, that's like when Disney bought his property in Central Florida, he opened up 6 shell companies, and the shell companies were buying up the land at $200 an acre. And when people started finding out that it was Disney, the land shot up to $2,000 an acre.
Crazy.
So, yeah. That's why Disney's property looks like the way it does, because it's
right.
People were holding out.
So SpaceX recently broke a launch record. It sent 46 Starlink satellites into space. This is, of course, Elon Musk's company. Liftoff took place at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time after launch was scrubbed Thursday. This happened today, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I thought they launched 60 at a time. So 46 is a record?
That's what it says. Yeah. SpaceX made it through its second attempt to launch 46 satellites. It says it's a record. This is according to space.com.
Space.com.
Yeah. Starlink has more than 2,800 individual Starlink satellites launched to orbit as the company seeks to build out its satellite internet service. Group 3-2 was SpaceX's fourth Starlink launch in July alone. 4 launches this month alone.
Wow.
Now, when that goes off, you can see it from where you're at.
Yes.
Jacksonville, right?
If it leaves from Port Canaveral or Cape Kennedy, whatever they want to call it, Kennedy Space Center, we can see it. Yep.
Right, so
clear as day.
I've seen these other people in other parts. I guess you can see it even if you're in other states.
Yes.
So
I have a friend in North Carolina.
Seen people post online, look at this UFO. No.
Yeah, a buddy of mine lives in North Carolina, and he's shown pictures. It's obviously, nothing like a picture from here or even from Titusville, but you can see the little psh up in the air, way down the road, 700 miles or something like that.
Have the kids seen it? Do they understand what's going on with that or no?
I've tried. They're still young. I had it on the phone, and I'm showing them the TV on the phone, and then I take him outside and go, see, that's the same thing. And it's, blows his mind, but, 10 minutes later, I'm sure he has no recollection of what he just saw.
Yeah, he's happy with the pots and pans and the box that the thing came in.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Brenda is at a conference in Dallas.
Yeah.
So she's not home, so I put the TV on for them. They're watching The Incredibles on Disney Plus and making a hell of a lot of racket, so I could just imagine what I'm going to walk out to there later.
Do you need to go check on things?
No, loud crashes yet, just loud voices.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure things are right. The house isn't ablaze or anything.
Yeah. I set the movie to end right at 8:00. So,
all right. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
I'll go out at 8 and reboot a new movie.
Nice.
You know how it goes.
So Elon Musk is at risk of losing his top Tesla lieutenant over a suspicious order of special glass.
Okay.
It's according to electrek.com. Elon Musk has special glass, yada, yada, yada. See, this is what happens when you're in charge of a publicly traded company. They have entire departments that scrutinize every expenditure.
Right.
Well, this came up. This guy's name is Omid Afshar, one of Elon Musk's top lieutenants and executive running Tesla Inc.'s Texas factory, is under scrutiny in an internal investigation for his role in a plan to purchase hard-to-get construction materials, according to people familiar with the matter. Tesla has already fired some employees in relation to the probe, and the electric vehicle maker plans to part ways with Afshar, likely through a leave of absence initially. The people said asking not to be identified, discussing this private information. Terms of his exit are still being worked out. See, I guess because maybe he was trying to get something. Maybe it was for Elon Musk or what, but they thought it was off the record enough and gray enough that, no, we need to make a move on this.
Isn't
that crazy, dude?
Can you imagine reading this article and you're like, okay, I'm going to be fired?
Right.
And isn't the Texas plant where they were going to make the pickup truck that they're no longer making?
And I would have thought that after Elon smashed the window with a hammer on stage in front of everybody to show the shatterproof glass, I would think this would be an excusable expenditure. Look, the glass we have is breaking. We said unbreakable. That's what this is.
Yeah.
There must be something different or more to the story than we're being told right now.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of weird how they give you half a story. Like, okay, what was this glass going to be used for? Was it,
Well, it goes on to say here, it's not clear what is special about the glass, but it apparently is difficult to get. And if it is for a personal project for Afshar or Musk himself, it is a problem that they would use Tesla's purchasing department to place the order.
It sounds like something he would do, though. I'm Elon Musk. You can't fuck with me.
Yeah, I don't get it. Crazy. That is freaking crazy, dude. I would think if it's my company that I own, even if there is shareholders, that I could go and do things with my company and my money. Yes, I realize I'm to answer to these people, but maybe this one-time glass purchase is going to change things in the company. Maybe it's going to make them $1 billion and they don't know it. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Musk is getting blamed for Twitter's tanking. Sounds like you got some monkeys running around over there.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, good here.
All right. Musk reacts to Twitter blame for second quarter revenue miss, according to FoxBusiness.com. Twitter said it faced $33 million in costs during the quarter related to Musk's $44 billion acquisition. On Friday, the social media giant partially blamed its second quarter revenue miss on uncertainty surrounding the Tesla chief executive's pending $44 billion acquisition. So somebody who's named himself not Jerome Powell, because the Jerome Powell guy, he's the head of the Fed and the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal or reserve. It's a private company stealing the money from the people, but that's another story. Somebody called not Jerome Powell put out a tweet, and it said, Elon, Twitter is blaming you for missing earnings, just FYI. And Elon actually responded back and said, I'm rubber, they're glue. But he kills me with that shit. He hits it right every time, dude. It's great.
Yeah. They're gonna do something about that, because I don't know. You just can't come in and say, hey, I'm gonna do this and mess with things like that. You know, they need to have some kind of regulation.
Well, earlier go ahead.
So my wife showed me a picture Wednesday, we were driving somewhere, and I don't know if we're going to cover it, but I'll have to get a copy of this picture. He was at the beach. Did you see this picture?
I don't know,
dude. I'm white. I'm white. I have no tanning ability. I burn and I turn right back to white. Elon Musk is whiter than the shirt you're wearing.
Wow, dude.
Dude,
he is an alien then, dude. He's a gray.
Yes. I looked at it, and the first thing I said, he looks like E.T.
Yeah.
He looks like E.T., but white. A white albino E.T. No color.
Twitter said it faced $33 million in costs during the quarter related to the acquisition. In addition to Musk's deal, the company cited advertising industry headwinds associated with the macro environment. Earlier this month, Musk announced he would be terminating the deal, claiming Twitter is in the material breach of multiple provisions of the agreement and, quote, appears to have made false and misleading representations. When it accepted Musk's acquisition offer on April 25th, Musk has disputed Twitter's internal estimates that spam and fake accounts make up less than 5% of the users. In response to Musk and his team's accusations, Twitter called the purported termination of the deal invalid and wrongful, and repudiation of their obligations under the agreement. Twitter is also suing Musk, accusing him of refusing to honor his obligations to Twitter and its stockholders because the deal he signed no longer serves his personal interests.
Yeah, of course, because he shook it up too much. He found out that Twitter's like every other company. It's run by a bunch of morons. And
the stock is down more than 7% year to date.
Oh. Check your
Twitter
phone.
Shares are now trading at around $39 a piece, well below Musk's original offer at $54.20 per share. So again, this lends credibility to what we've said in past shows, where it's probably one of two scenarios, and he probably never really intended to buy Twitter because he knew they would fail in this respect. He's asked to see this information. They won't give it to him, so They're going to sue him. They're going to go to court. You know what's going to happen? They're going to have to show the information.
Right, exactly.
So it doesn't really matter. And two of the theories we came up with was, one, there's some group of people trying to get the information about Twitter, showing you it's all ghost, and this is just the first of the social media giants that are going to fall to this because it's all fake. Remember, Mikeism number one, it's all fake. The second theory that we came up with was that he was using this to allow him to sell a large portion of Tesla stock, which he did, to raise that $44 billion. So had he just sold a bunch of stock while it was at a peak, the stock would have plummeted. He puts in a bid to buy Twitter, knowing they're going to screw it up. He can withdraw that money because he's got to feed his 10 kids.
Dude, check your cell phone real quick. I should say that picture.
Right.
We'll post it on the Both Mikes Facebook page.
Oh my God, dude! Gangsta. They used to call John Stockton in the NBA the pasty gangster because he looked like that, dude. He was whiter than white, dude.
Right. But what's funny though is his head. His head has color, but the rest of his body looks like freaking E.T., an albino E.T.
Oh, there you go. He's an alien. Again, underlining what we're doing here. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and not a hair on him. He's like a big baby.
So Twitter went down. There's another social media format that went down. This is according to CNBC.com, so it must be true. Snap. You familiar with Snap, Mike? Are you on Snap?
No.
I've been in some fantasy football situations where they like to run league communication through Snap. It took some getting used to, and we sent that to you 3 days ago. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking 12. I don't use Snap, or I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
So Snap shares plunged 25% on a disappointing second quarter results and plans to slow hiring. Snap missed on the top and bottom lines in the second quarter earnings report. The company authorized a stock repurchasing program of up to $500 million, and the company said it plans to substantially slow our rate of hiring as well as the rate of operating expense growth.
Interesting. Whoa! I just looked at the stock at the company I work at. Holy shit.
Yeah. Is it good or bad?
It can't be right. Oh, okay. I spelt it wrong. Whew. Okay. I thought it was 58 cents a share for a second there. Yeah. No better. It's $1.62.
It looks like in January this Snap was somewhere between $40 and $50. Right now it's at $16.38.
Wow.
Their earnings per share, they lost 2 cents per share, but it was adjusted versus the expected loss of 1 penny per share. So they lost twice the money they forecasted to lose, because that's how it works with these big companies a lot of times. It takes them a couple years to get going, but they know that going in. They're just going to keep pouring money into it like a .com bubble until it friggin' bursts.
Right.
Their revenue was $1.11 billion versus $1.14 billion expected. Their 347 million users versus 342 million expected. So they're up there with the users. They're just not making money. I don't know how companies like Twitter and this company make money. Is it all through advertising? I don't see a lot of advertisements when I'm on Twitter, but I don't spend a lot of time there.
Well, how many employees they have? I think Twitter you could run with 10 people?
Yeah, in my living room.
Yeah. Maybe take over the dining room for a couple people, but yeah,
if we want to expand.
Exactly. Yeah, double the size of your company, take over the dining room. I don't get it. I really don't. There's thousands and thousands of people. Freaking Facebook, they started off, with 2 people. How many more people do you need? I don't know.
This Snap app, it's Snapchat is what it is, all right? And people use it to send messages and make video calls with
Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
I thought you were just saying Snap. Yeah.
Well, Snap is the parent company name, I guess.
So Mike Busey is a big person with Snapchat. Supposedly he made his millions at Snapchat. And you gotta with things like that though, it's like Snapchat's no longer the hot thing. It's the TikTok.
You got to be on it at the right time and get off it at the right time.
Yeah, and you got to move on to the correct next thing.
Yeah. They say earlier this week, Snap debuted Snapchat for Web, a desktop version of the mobile Snapchat app that people can use to send messages and make video calls with their Snap contacts. You think, wow, that's great. They get it. You're going to need some web-based stuff, but you can also most everybody's doing it on the phone, and that's what we're designed to do. But we want to get all that we want, so we're going to do a web-based one. I get it, dude. That's fucking smart, right?
They're usually you start with the web-based one, then you go to the app. But
yeah, well, Snap revealed the new desktop app shortly after it debuted its Snapchat Plus paid subscription plan. Right. Which costs $3.99 a month and lets people access early features and see who has viewed their snaps. So again, we talked about this before. It's just the tip. We're just going to put the tip in. See, it's like we talked about you cutting a cord before, Mike. It's all good. But if you have 30 things that you're paying only $5 a month for, or only $4, that shit's going to add up, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I went with what I went with, because supposedly with Hulu, you can get your, you get your full TV, and then you get your Hulu stuff, and you get your Disney Plus stuff for the kids. And you're looking at $64.99 in comparison to, what we're paying $145 now for whatever for the AT&T. And, yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not a fan of learning, having to relearn how to watch TV.
Just go to YouTube, dude. Everything you can type in a specific model and everything in your TV. There'll be something out there showing you exactly what to do, dude.
Yep. Yeah. It's not cool.
We talked about Snap releasing this information. We talked about Twitter releasing their investment reports or quarterly reports. Next week, Alphabet, the now parent company of Google, and Meta, the parent company for Facebook, they're going to issue their reports, their earnings reports and stuff next week. Meta and Pintrest shares fell 5% in the after hours trading on Thursday, while Alphabet shares declined 2.9 and Twitter dropped 1.5. That tells me everybody's numbers are going down, and the insiders who know it are bailing.
Yeah. No, I had a couple people mention on Facebook today that stock market took a crap. Oh. So let's see. Dow Jones. You don't hear much about the Dow Jones. Only like when you live in New York, I guess you hear a lot about it.
Well,
Dow Jones.
That was the big thing. You want to invest with what they're investing in. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Market, whatever.
It's at 31,899, down 137.16 points. So down 0.43%.
What's down year to date,
Down year to date. Let's see. Go year to date. Oh, it is definitely not good. 52-week high was 36.9, and we're at 31.8. Yeah. So it's down. Wow. It's down.
I wonder what could be causing all that.
46.85, down 12%.
Fucking crazy, dude. And gold is being tamped down now too. It was like 1690 when gold should be way up there, dude. Picture this, dude. Picture this, if you will. In 1917, when they had the second to last charter at the central bank, you could buy an ounce of gold for $35.
Right.
Now, in 1917, I'm going to take $35 in gold, 1 ounce of gold, and I'm going to put it in the ground and I'm going to bury it. And right next to that hole, I'm going to make another hole, and I'm going to put $35 in cash in that hole. Now, today, I'm going to go unbury that. The $35 in cash is still worth what? $35 in cash. You know what the gold is worth? It's worth $16.93. But a lot of people already knew that. And in 1971, when Nixon took us off the gold standard because there were speculators in the market, and this would be safer and a temporary thing, much like 10 days to slow the curve. It's a way to get control of people by telling you to put on a mask. It's all about control. It's not about the mask. The mask actually is worse for everybody around you than you could ever imagine. And don't get me started on in your arm. Don't get me started on that. But what I'm trying to say is this. It's real simple. If you can't see what's going on, wake the F up, people. This is a bad situation for everybody. Gas prices, they came down 62 cents in the past 5 weeks. Well, good. They're still up 400% or 200% or whatever it is. It's fucking crazy, dude. Oh, but it's only like $4.21 or $4 a gallon now. Yeah, well, it was less than $2 a gallon. So don't peak it up here and then act like you're doing me a favor by knocking it down to here. You're not doing anybody any favors. How much does gas buy you, Mike?
$3.92.
$3.92. Okay. Is that more than 187?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. End of story. That's all. So CNN.com is reporting, and this must be true because of CNN.com. Treacherous heat paired with high humidity is likely to affect millions of Americans through the end of July.
Imagine that. It's summer.
Yeah, right. This is what, and if you follow me on socials and if you're one of my personal people, you know how I feel about this. And I've talked about it here about the climate change crisis. All it's bullshit. It's fake. It's a money grab. Okay. This is CNN laying the groundwork because Joe Biden has announced in the last week that if Congress can't get their act together with the global climate crisis that we're all facing, he's going to ensure things via executive order. So he's just going to start writing laws. For instance, Mike, we know you live in Florida and we know you like air conditioning. We're going to let you keep the air conditioning 4 days a week. Mike, I know you like to drive your car. You're going to put this thing in your car, and you're only going to be able to drive 5 miles per week, Mike. See, this is what's happening. Hopefully, people understand this. CNN is laying the groundwork for this with the fake climate change reporting. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be hot. It's fucking July, like you said, Mike. It's hot in New Jersey. It's hot everywhere in July.
It was 101 degrees the other day in London. That was like a 300. Yeah. It was like a record that stood for like 323 years or something like that.
Oh, that points to global warming, although they can't call it global warming because overall we're still at a cooler temperature than we are. See, things are cyclical, folks. Much like we have seasons, you bring that out to a broader perspective, we have series of centuries or years or decades in which things go up and down. They're cyclical. Things happen. There's polarity on this planet. When the north is pulling, the south is pulling. There's a polarity. What that means is what goes around comes around. Shit happens. It's going to be hot. It's not the end of the world. You don't need to run around like your hair's on fire and go, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky. We're going to all be dead in 12 years unless you give us $78 billion in tax. So me getting another tax or reducing my air conditioning use or not being able to drive my car is going to end climate change. Stop. They're laying the groundwork for the naive, for the people that don't know any better. That's what this story on CNN is. No shit. It's hot in July. No shit. You think? I suppose it rains in the north during the wintertime, no? It does. Oh my God. Climate change. Yes, that's what happens. Things change. I feel sorry for the people who are displaced because of the housing crisis in this country. Like we just talked about Orlando and other people that can't afford. Their rents went up 40, 60, 100% or so. Now they got no place to live. Now they're in the heat, which can be deadly if you're not imagine being homeless in this heat, Mike. That must be a MFer right there, dude.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Well, God, when I moved to San Antonio in 2011, just before, December 2010, the entire year of 2011, it rained 5 times. The whole year, 5 times. There were lakes that were gigantic that were just, you could see where the docks were in people's backyards, and they had to literally walk another 100 feet from the back of their dock to get to any water.
Wow.
It was dried up like you wouldn't believe, and they had 60 days straight that it was 100 degrees or more, and it was unbearable. You think humidity in Florida is bad. I think it's worse in San Antonio. And you just walk outside, and it's like when that waft hits you from the oven when you go to take the cookie sheet out. Yeah, it was that bad when you walked outside. And it was 60 days straight, 100 degrees plus, and then they had a day that went into the 90s. It was like 98. And then like another 30 days of 100-degree weather. It's unbelievable how the difference between here and there. And, we're down south. So.
Well, the whole thing just gets me thinking, again, about the homeless and about the people that are, vulnerable to this situation. There's people who have air conditioning in their house, but they can't afford to run it.
Right.
So they'll live with the windows open and stuff. There's elderly people on fixed incomes who, now that we have the higher fuels, guess what else went up? Electricity. Now they've been priced out of what they used to be able to afford, which was to stay alive because they're old senior citizens in Florida and need some air conditioning.
Yeah.
I don't know how the pioneer people, the frontiersmen, all these people who forged across this country and built our country, I don't know how they did it, dude. They didn't have the forecasting or the weather reports and stuff that we have. And
right. But it was what it was. We're spoiled. We know what air conditioning is. It's like a dog that never had they neutered him before you ever had a chance to know what it was. Yeah.
In Europe, it's not uncommon for places, England and Germany and so forth. There's no air conditioning. They don't have it.
Yep.
It's just non-existent.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking about it the other day. The house I grew up in New Jersey, my grandfather built in 1951. It had no central air. It had a boiler for heat. It burned oil. Yeah. And we had no air conditioner. We had one in the living room, and they kind of air conditioned the living room kitchen, and that was it. You didn't have any in the bedroom. You had a fan. You want to cool off, you get a fan and like it. We had a fan in the attic that pulled air through the entire house. It was an attic fan. And as a teenager, I lived in the heat, to 85 degrees upstairs. Well, guess what? You opened the window, turned the fan on, and that's what you did. That's how you lived. And now,
you want air conditioning while we're in the car? Roll down the fucking window.
Exactly. Well, as my dad
with the hand crank,
while my dad smoked Marlboro Reds. Dude, the first house
got a hot toddy going in a cup holder or something.
Dude, yep. Literally, I remember him driving with a Budweiser White Label in the cup holder.
Oh yeah, buddy.
He had cup holders with the little sandbags that you put on the hump.
Yeah, because they didn't come with cup holders back
exactly.
then.
Yeah, in a Galaxy 500, and he'd have a White Label Budweiser as we drove around. First house I bought in New York State, no central air. It was like a $20,000 option, and we bought the house without the air conditioner because we barely were able to afford the house that we bought, let alone one with air conditioning. It had central heat, just no air.
According to ARSTechnica.com, child's monkeypox case raises alarm as the WHO, that's the World Health Organization, mulls declaring a health emergency. Medical experts are stumped to how the young boy caught the virus. I'll tell you how he got it. They gave it to him. Because if the climate thing don't work in this election year, we're going to make monkeypox work. We're going to throw all this shit at the wall. Hopefully some of both or one or the other sticks. Monkeypox. We've talked about it on shows in the past. Don't fall for it, folks. It's all fake. It's not real. The virus is real. The pandemic is fake. But then again, we've already lived through this before. You know that already now, don't you? Mike, do you have monkeypox?
Only on Saturdays. No. No. Yeah, it's nothing to be alarmed about.
As it stands, the WHO received reports of more than 16,000 cases from 71 member states that span all 6 of the WHO-designated world regions. The epicenter of the outbreak continues to be Europe. 5 people have died in the multinational outbreak, 3 in Nigeria and 2 in the Central African Republic.
Okay.
So we got to lock down the whole country. 10 days to slow the curve. That's all it's going to take, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think they've issued that yet.
The vast majority of cases continue to be identified in men who have sex with men. So there you go.
Interesting.
All right, well, we're out of time here. I want to give a couple of shout-outs to some people. You got anybody you want to give a shout-out to, Mike?
Just the band Bowling for Soup. Going to go see them tomorrow night at the House of Blues.
Nice.
Have fun, nephew. My nephew's actually going to go with me.
Good deal, dude.
I get to hang out with my nephew.
How old is he?
He's 8 days older than my oldest Michael.
Ah, okay.
All right. 34,
He's in this market, or where's he at?
He lives with Mom at Davenport.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
No basement, but he lives with Mom.
Okay. All right. Well, of course, I want to give a shout out to my man Gino Losi. Catch some monster fish with him. GINOLOSI. Check him out on the socials. Check out my friend Dustin Levine at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Go see a play, see a comedy thing, buy some advertising, give some tickets to plays to your employees or whatever. And then, of course, my man Night Fan Stan over at Jet Set Printing in Orlando for all your printing needs in Central Florida. This has been 133. I'm amazed.
Yes, it has.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna have 134 is gonna be good, dude. I already got it scripted up. I'm ready, dude.
Wow.
I am ready for 134. So if you're listening to this, go find 134. You're gonna like it just as much. We'll talk to you next time.